Hi, we're recording. This is the review portion of the last map we did, which was Mob Stadium.
Mob Stadium 2012.
Yes. And we were quite literally Team Derp in that last round. Because why the fuck not? But we've seen enough to where we know what happened. Meta has played this before we did this review. And I knew that about ahead of time before anybody else in this call. Hence why I decided to fuck around the last round. But we've seen enough to a point where it was close to the ending. There's not much after it. There's a UFO. It beams us on board to take us to the second part, which we will do sometime next week. Probably Friday, Saturday, depends. Whoever's available. Anyway, so on first impressions between me, Dread, and Kyo, we get to say what we want. As far as Meta goes, he's already played it. I'm pretty sure he thinks it's good. So go ahead, Meta, say what you got to say.
Well, going through this, I honestly thought it was very difficult because it took my original team a few tries before we eventually got it, and by that time we grew kind of frustrated on like the third try, decided we weren't going to play it anymore, which is pretty much what happened here. We just kind of gave up.
We didn't give up.
Some of us were fucking around, but...
Yeah, I was actually trying.
Well, yeah, Dread was trying. I was trying, too. I really wanted to get through it. I just
No.
thought...
You see, Dread wasn't trying. He was just pressing the button trying to get by faster. You were trying, because we knew you were trying.
No, the first one I was trying to get through as fast as I can because I needed a med kit.
Yeah, but you also had a habit of pressing the fucking button before anybody got near you, even in the second part. So.
Yeah, we really didn't need that. We knew you needed a med kit, but you know what? That med kit opening also opened up a trap.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of bad for everyone else around you.
And then me, the last round, I just like, fire! We're dying. I've had enough of this map already.
So yeah, overall, it's okay, especially with the addition of the interesting last bosses, pretty much comprised of 2 dragons and the skull. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So
that's part of theme and difficulty anyway. Kyo, what do you think on the first impressions when you got to play?
It is map it do good.
Okay. That explains everything from Kyo. Dread? What do you think?
I mean, it was pretty good. I would actually like to play through the whole thing, but I'll do that later.
There's more than that, Dread. There's a lot more. You are 1/5 of finishing it if you actually complete that one. Anyway, as for me, first impressions, I thought it was okay. A lot of this goes into theme, though. It's kind of dark. I mean, I'm not saying you need to brighten it up a bit, but it could. It could just a little touch, because seriously, it seems like it was a little dark in certain areas, and that kind of sucks. I understand, yeah, we have a flashlight, but that flashlight only gives us a certain amount of light. And sometimes we can't see what we're supposed to hit, or something that and also a sense of direction would be nice at the very start, because 3 of us didn't know what the fuck to do. Like
mini torches lighting.
Yeah, that, or like, okay, you need to hit this sign, like a little note on there, like basic Left 4 Dead maps have, something to tell us, okay, you need to hit this button. Okay, we hit that button. Thank you for telling us. We needed the direction right in the beginning, because it took a while before we figured out, okay. So that could be there, and of course, as Meta said, difficulty. It did seem like a bit too much. And then, case in point, the third part, even though I kind of killed 3 of us, there were still so many zombies to a point where Dread got his ass kicked. That's way.
And there were so many zombies, it looked like he was just a moving blob of flesh.
Yeah, that's a big problem. You cannot have that many at once. It lags the game. It just does. There's too many things going on at once. That, and you're not giving your player a chance. So, again, that goes into difficulty, but that's a big problem. That and a little glitchy, too. Little small glitches that don't really necessarily need to fix. They're not game-breaking, but they could be fixed. They're just little small bugs. Anyway, let's get on to the review. 5-star max, 1-star minimum. We'll start with meta, and then we'll go to Kyo, we'll go to Dread, and I'll finish it up. Number of infected in a whole campaign. We couldn't get official number, but what'd you think about it, meta?
A lot. Well, it's not a lot, as in it lagged my game, because my computer can handle most infected. Like, I played on Let's Build a Rocket, and that has a lot of infected.
Well, yeah, same. I've played maps that have a lot in there, and I have this gaming PC, so I can handle it, but I'm saying most people don't generally have a gaming PC all the time. They may not have the same specs.
Yeah, but considering that, I'd say the number of infected kind of overpowering a bit. Especially some of these special infected placements feel like they're spawned, I guess.
Well, yeah, you had ones that were spawned, but then you had the one where like 7 jockeys drop on your head. That was
that's only when
you hit the wrong thing. It felt like the same idea that happened in a Resident Evil Outbreak, where I kept hitting one button and tank after tank after tank came after. It's stuff like that that kind of means it shouldn't happen. Like, you should not be penalized to have a fucking tank or special infected come out. Horde, I can understand, maybe a weak special, but jockeys tend to be a kind of annoyance.
Well, no. My gripe with that, I know I'm going a bit off topic. My gripe with that is that if the map creator had introduced something that would tell you what the solution was to it,
that too,
then I would have let it go. But it didn't tell you the solution. You just had to pretty much guess what the right combination was. And even then, I still don't know what the combination was. Even when playing this with my other group, I still didn't know what the combination was.
Yeah, there's 9 possible combinations with a 3-part thing like that.
Yeah, so, and not to mention, when you press one, when one goes up, another symbol goes down. It
doesn't help. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that doesn't help it either. And I know that's supposed to make it challenging, but once again, if I don't have like some indication telling me to, like, you need left, to remember this for later.
Yeah, like left, right, middle, or something like that. I understand. So what do you want to give it? This is number of infected in the campaign. You said it was overwhelming, but what is your star rating on it?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting off subject. Half a star, probably. Well, no, actually, I'll give it a full star, because you know what? I do enjoy a little difficulty, because it just makes it all the more challenging for me, and it makes it all the more rewarding to get through it.
All right. Kia, what'd you think?
Well, it gives a lot of infected, alright. Also, it was like they gave us in small confined spaces where you could easily dispatch them, though.
Yeah.
So I see that he knew what he was at least doing when he'd give you that many.
Yeah.
If once you get it out in the open and they have that free room to flank you properly.
Yeah.
When they really fuck you over. So technically, yeah, this is 1 star, I'd say.
Alright.
I can't see. This isn't more than normal, but it's properly implemented, in my opinion.
Alright.
You have more than normal.
Alright. Dread?
For the common, I think they did swarm you a bit more with the common. The specials I didn't really see much problems with. So I guess I'll give it a full star because, well, actually, no, I'll give it like half a star because I think the overwhelming common kind of took away half.
Right.
Because the specials seemed okay to me. I didn't really have much of a problem with them.
All right. I'm going to give it a 3/4. A lot of this is all three of you guys giving me the idea, okay, it did put in small spaces, so you can kill the common a lot easier. That is a true statement. But at times when you're by yourself in that small space and there's so much, you can't really do anything. In fact, that's what happened to me in the second playthrough. I got killed because no one came and followed me. And I didn't. The thing is that I needed a med pack. I needed to open that chest, and everybody else is going everywhere else. I didn't think opening the fucking chest would start it. There was no other button there either. So when that happened, I was forced to defend myself. Even at that point, it does have that overwhelming factor still. As for the last one, where I, of course, killed all three of us, when it does come out and you have that open space, it does kind of seem overwhelming at that point, because there's really nothing you can do. You have to find a corner and just hope for dear God you can survive. And it seemed like there was about 300 or 400... Well, it seemed like there was like 300 or 400 zombies coming out at once.
Or kind of hope happened what happened with you and me, where they all kept running at the door for Kyo and Meta.
Yeah, that was even a glitch too. It was something like that kind of would save us, but at the same time, even when you were by yourself in the third one, they all just swarmed you, and you didn't have a choice. You had to fight and sit there because you couldn't run away fast enough. Either you either have to tone it down just a bit to make the player have a chance. Because once that door opens and everybody else is dead and the player's only by himself, you're kind of fucked at that point. I mean, that's when you want to just let go of your keyboard and mouse and say, I'm out. Because you can't do anything. It could be just drop down, maybe knock off 100 of those zombies, because that is way too much at once. I've never seen that many zombies come out at once. Last time I seen that was on Lord Cat, and that's when he was fucking around with the editor. And he was trying to lag his own system, and he did. But he had like over 1,000 zombies being spawned at a time. This is not like that. This was kind of an open thing. Still, that's a little overwhelming. Even maybe 300 is probably someone you can do, but that's doable in terms of if you're trying to practice or something like that. So yeah, I can see what he was trying to do. I agree that small spaces, if you have enough people, you can survive it. But there lies the factor. If you're by yourself, you're fucked. And that's not fair. You kind of have to make sure at least one person can survive that. And if they can
or at least giving like grenades or bile or something.
Yeah, that was another issue I had too. We'll get that into difficulty fitting though. So anyway, moving on to length. Kyo, you would have to have the official count on that, but I figure since it was a one part, it wouldn't matter. So it's up to you guys if you thought it was too long or too short. We'll start with Meta.
10 times 5.
10 times 5 is 50. Yeah, it's 50. But that's 3 playthroughs. That's 3 playthroughs. Knock off two of them.
Divide 50 by 3. Someone, no! So I'm not doing math in my head. It's the weekend.
I'm not good at math.
It's 1.75, I believe.
So that'd be about what?
17.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll say 20 minutes.
I'm gonna actually say that would be about 25 minutes is general good. But the campaign does feel short, but for the right reasons. Because, it's just one map and it's one part of something much bigger.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into probably.
It's 16.666667. It's about 17 minutes.
We'll say 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Okay, Dread? So shut the hell up. We don't need to do actual math.
No, but that was pretty good.
That's going accurate. That's pretty accurate, though.
So yeah, I would say it's just the right amount, because if I had to go through 30 minutes of that, of just onslaughts of hordes and just more puzzle making, I think without a resting point, I think me and my entire team would have just quit right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's kind of appropriate for one map. So, full star.
All right. Kyo?
Full star.
Well, no explanation. Just go full star. All right. Dread?
Guess I'll give it a full star, because it can be short if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'll give it a full star. And hopefully they won't be fucking around like us.
I'll give it a full star as well. It's right on the mark in terms of how many minutes it takes. It does feel short at one point, but then at the same time it feels long at another point. And it's a good sense of balance. So yeah, it doesn't really stray away, and it seems like a progression idea behind it. Like if you fail once, you start from the beginning, but this time you know what to do. You're prepared for it. Like 2 tanks, and then next time we beat those 2 tanks. This time we have to fight another horde and stuff like that. We can do all this, do that, and eventually we get to the ending, and you have to take these 2 dragons or whatever they are. It's stuff like that. So yeah, it's a progression kind of thing, and this is why I'm mostly lenient when it comes to a 1-part map on this and the length of campaign. It's just, it could be any amount, but I couldn't sit there for more than maybe 30 minutes on 1 part unless I'm failing. If I'm succeeding and still playing it, I couldn't play it that long. It just eventually will hit a point where it's boring. So yeah, he's got it.
That Unreal Tournament one.
Well, no, not Unreal Tournament was 7 parts, dude. I'm talking about just 1 part. This is more like a survival.
No one just keep playing and playing over and over again until it starts getting boring.
Yeah, if it hits a point, yeah. But this map was more like the survival map. So if I was playing Helm's Deep, and it was just nothing but constant hordes, there's no other specials, it'll eventually hit a point where it's boring as fuck. Because you've seen enough of it, like, okay, it's just recreating the story, stuff like that. It just hits a boiling point of how far you can stand. It's just an endurance test. This one kind of felt like the endurance test, because there was nothing we're looking at. And again, that goes into design, but it did have its own moments where it look, okay, it's good, and then the thing is we're heading back, we're constant backtracking, waiting for, okay, which is the next door we gotta open? And it's just in this one area. I get that's part of the theme, but at the same time, it's boring. And for length, it's just right in terms of length. Anyway, let's move on. Difficulty fitting. Meta, what'd you think?
Wait. What was your star rating for?
1. It's a full star. I said the length is fine. I'm not sure on the design yet.
Okay, I just missed that. Go on.
Okay. Difficulty fitting. So what'd you think about that?
Difficulty. Yeah, I believe difficulty was just about right. I mean, it wasn't like overwhelmingly tough. We managed to get all the way to the ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel that it was just right. Enough that you could keep pressing on through it, and it felt rewarding when you actually got through it. But it wasn't enough to piss you right the hell off that you wanted to throw your keyboard on the counter and just walk away and scream at the top of your lungs. So, full star.
Okay. Kyo?
Well, all in all, if you play it right, you have a good team, this won't be that hard of a map. It'd be just about right. Well, especially when you don't have someone who's going to light you on fire. Or did you? Or anything else. Yeah, it'd be about, no, I get full stop.
Okay. Dread?
If you're not an ass, you should be fine. It's normal if you're not an ass.
I have to keep it entertaining somehow. Anyway, Dread?
Difficulty?
Yeah.
Guess I'll give it a full star because it was difficult. The only thing that made it harder was you 2 idiots.
True. I'm not gonna lie.
So it's like playing against 2 people and the game.
Yeah.
For me and Meta.
but it also makes it fun that way. Anyway, you give it a full, so I'm gonna give it 3/4. Why is mostly the ending? I understand that this game doesn't really have a health indicator, but it doesn't help when you don't know for sure if you're supposed to shoot the birds or not. If Meta wasn't playing with us, because I know what he played this before, but if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have known to shoot the birds or shoot the skull. We would have been in that same complex with Aquarius. And
where we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah,
we were
it
just
would have been
looking
that
at the
same-
giant robot-looking thing.
Yeah, and that's, to me, is a problem. If you don't mention that, and this is one big problem with this map, is that it doesn't mention anything. It doesn't give you a fucking hint. Meta even complained about that with just the puzzle part. There's just no hint about it. You have to guess. And I get that's kind of what Left 4 Dead was meant to do, is kind of guess which way you're supposed to go. But this is a map that's supposed to be kind of a gauntlet. And when you don't indicate that you're supposed to shoot a customized thing that's just flying over the top, you're just left guessing. Is it supposed to be there? Is it going to help you? Is it going to hurt you? You know, you have to take a crapshoot and hope for, dear God, you guessed right. And it's not fair. Most of this map, yeah, we got through it. There's health items, there's weapons, there's everything you need. However, the ending is a big problem. Because of two reasons. One is that you don't know if you're supposed to shoot them or not. The other is that you're eventually going to run out of ammo. And I get there's supposed to be guns there, but you're going to hit a point where you're running out of ammo and you're away from that area, and there's still zombies. There's still something shooting at you. There's something hurting you. There's really no way to get to that. And there's not enough like adrenaline or pills to help you kind of get through it. Because at certain points, I found the pills. No one else finds another set of pills until near the end. And even at that point, everybody's used their adrenaline if they found it on the way. Or they've used their pills if they found that on the way. You know, it just hits that point. The same thing with the grenades. If you had the Molotov, someone's used it to try to take out the tanks, and then you're at the finale part of it, and you don't have it. I understand that that's what the basis of this game is supposed to be, but at the same time, it seems too difficult at that, especially if someone's just wanting to play this to see how it plays. It is a fun map, I'm not denying that. It's got the right difficulty up to the finale, and that's where it seems like it kind of goes away from that difficulty. It doesn't kind of help you at all. Common, the specials, they're fine. Health is all fine. Weapons, all fine. The customizable enemies, not so much. So that's why I took a quarter off. It just didn't feel right there. Because we were left guessing, because Meta kept himself shut up. He didn't even give us a hint. He knew it, but he didn't give us a hint. Until eventually, oh, they're hurting. They sound like they're getting hurt. Shoot them. That's when we decided, okay, that might be a good idea. Otherwise, we didn't know what we were supposed to do. We were left in the open. So, yeah. From there, we're going to move on to design. Meta, what'd you think about the design of the map?
I feel the design feels like it's going for one of those more... I don't want to sound like offensive or anything. I don't want to say like that I'm an expert or that I know exactly where this came from, but it looks very Mayan, very Aztec sort of. Which I know they're both completely different things, but that's what it felt like. It felt like I was traveling through these ancient tribal.
El Dorado.
There we go. Yeah,
basically El Dorado.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, it felt like I was traveling through El Dorado, except it wasn't made of gold. It was just made of pain and a lot of tanks
Yeah.
and fire,
And a lot
lots
of
of fire.
stupid.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Dragon.
stupid.
And a skull and a UFO.
And a giant freaking UFO,
Yeah.
which brings you up to a strange-looking jockey,
Yeah.
which you would
Well-
battle in a later map. Anyway,
Stay tuned next week on that one.
anyway, I feel like the design was pretty nice, actually.
All right.
Although the Mob Stadium doesn't quite.
The name doesn't fit right somehow.
Well,
It does, but at the same time, it doesn't.
Well, I think it's actually very fitting, but I never would have fought an Aztecs, or I never fought this type of. Actually, you know what? Forget I said that. You know, I bet tribals have these type of stadiums, but probably not in this type of scale. So I'm gonna give that a full star.
All right. Keo?
Well, it had a lot of things to it. A lot of original stuff that looked really cool. It did. And some of it was a tad dark. Some of it killed you instantly because Switch couldn't find. That somehow Meta found.
Because I played the game. I played the map before. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I totally played that map before. Don't tell them this.
Oh my god, Meta, you did?
Fucking hate both of you.
Shit, they know.
All right.
I'd give it quarter. No, 3/4.
3/4.
And I wonder why I need to buy more microphones. Well,
No shit. Dread.
I thought the design was good. It was a little dark, so I guess I'll give it a full star. I don't think the darkness can take anything away from it.
I'm gonna give it half. My reasoning is, the map did have a nice feeling. It was all original. It had some monsters that we'd never seen before. It made us fight them. It did a well design in terms of what it was trying to do, and it accomplished that very well. My problems with it was the name. It could have been better named other than calling it Mob Stadium. To me, Mob Stadium is that you actually have it at a stadium. This didn't seem like a stadium. This seemed like an arena.
It was sort of like a stadium.
Arenas and stadiums are kind of two different things, though.
It is neither. It had a giant stone pillar in the middle of it.
Yeah, but that's
that you
what
and Meta
arena
had a
is.
party at.
Anyway, it was just a small version of a stadium. It was an arena, and that was kind of one of the problems I had with it. Is that they named it a stadium. I was thinking, okay, if it's gonna be a stadium, I would think it would be something like a baseball field, a football field. No, this was a fucking Mayan building. It was kind of off-putting to me. That was the first thing. The second thing is there's no sense of direction. It took us like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to kind of get where we needed to go. Meta knew ahead of time, but he didn't help. We eventually figured it out. The third one thing was certain things didn't work right. Like you would press the button, like Meta was having a problem with that. You didn't have that indication, okay, which one is which? What combination is the right one? And if you can't figure it out, you're kind of left guessing. That's a problem. That's not helpful for the design. That, and it was kind of dark too. I understand that's part of what it's supposed to be, but at the same time, helpful to the player is kind of brighten up certain rooms when they can't see anything. Even the flashlight doesn't give a whole lot of area to see. You can see maybe 1 or 2 of those combinations, but you don't know if the third one's up. And you're just left guessing. Then you also have the fact that there's a jockey that constantly spawns when you fuck up. And I just hate those, by the way. That does not make the game harder, it just irritates the fuck out of you. I like the map as it is, but it could be better. It could be better named. It could be better designed. It seems so fucking bland to me. Like, there wasn't enough interesting things around it. Like, they had the abilities of, like, okay, this is what a trap is and everything. Yeah, that's fine, but there's not a whole lot of things given the map an interesting look. It just looked like everything's the same thing, same color, same design. Nothing's changed.
So pretty much it comes down to a case of a lot of interesting ideas, but not implemented very well for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the traps and everything, and they look great. I like the idea that there's a point where you could get squished. It could be a sacrifice one, or you can find that little button like you did, Meta, to move on and save yourself. I like that. That was kind of nice. And if you didn't know about it, you're dead. Or you can go to the other one. Okay, this opens this door, and there's just little 4 things you have to step on in order to get the little shield to come out. So you shoot it to open the other door, which that in turn you have to press a button on the wall to rise up and get the other little tablet. You know, that was nicely implemented. But then you have the fact that it's all the same color, it's all the same place. You're not going to find all these things. It might be part of the design, but it puts it off-putting to a point where it's boring. And I don't like that. If you're trying to implement all these cool designs to it, make the map interesting to me. I don't like to see the same color. I want to see a different color, something that points it out. There is nothing that points it out. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, I don't know. To the creator, you did it okay. Just do it better next time. And you probably will. We will play the next map in the series. We got this for 5 weeks, yay! So anyway, this brings us to recommendations.
I just want to chime in real quick.
Go ahead.
It's gonna get a whole lot worse from here.
Yay! Anyway.
Okay, go on.
This is recommendations of this map. We haven't played the other ones yet, so we'll recommend them if not when we get to them. So this one, Meta, do you recommend it?
You know what? I totally would. You know, just for the sheer, if you're looking for something challenging and something that is actually quite, it's an interesting playthrough to say the least. It does have a lot of cool ideas that I am very fond of. Although they're not implemented well, you eventually figure them out through trial and error. But you just gotta keep going at it until you figure it all out. Because we eventually figured it all out. So yeah, I totally give this map a recommendation. That's only if you're willing to go through the 20 minutes of the one map without any rests.
Mm-hmm. So, full star, right?
Yeah.
Kyo, would you recommend it?
I'll play it again. Probably more focused into the actual map. And with, hopefully, people will be more focused into the map. So it's a full stall. It's a recommendation as long as you're with people who actually want to complete it.
Alright, Dread?
I'll recommend it. Mainly because it can actually be doable if you have people that actually give a shit.
Alright. I'm going to point out something. I don't recommend it. At least not right now.
Why? Oh, why, Knight? Would you not recommend this fine craft of the map? Please explain your reasons.
Because we haven't finished it yet. I'm not talking about this map. I'm thinking the whole thing. Because technically, this is one part of the entire
Then why did you
thing.
ask us if we recommend it, if you're going to do that?
I said, do you recommend this map? You guys did. I didn't say I had to do it. You didn't have to. You chose to. But
You're
as
confused, good soul.
I'm good at doing that. I choose not to recommend this map right now. I'm going to recommend this map and every other one till the final one. And I'll give my recommendations then. So right now mine stands as a 0, but when it comes to that point, I will recommend all 5 parts.
Yeah, I would like to explain something real quick. Originally, we were gonna do the last part of all these maps. But
True,
then
then Meta pointed that out to me that this is a 5-part. So in terms of that, this isn't a full map to me. This isn't a full campaign, because technically there's 5 parts. There's 5 campaigns. So to me, that's one full campaign to me. So until we get to the very end, I'm not going to make any recommendations. So all the future reviews from my side will be a 0 until the final one.
Alright.
You guys can recommend each part. I'll allow you guys to do that. But in terms of mine, I'll recommend on the very end. Because this is my review. First off, I did choose this. I have the final say anyway. So, as terms of right now, I'm sitting at a 3 out of 5 with this, so I have the lowest, but that's still in a question mark. Dread, you gave it 4.5. You had the lowest in terms of the final. Kyo, you had 4 3/4, and Meta, you gave it a full 5. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you stay tuned, because this is kind of the marathon run. Because this is the one we're actually going to keep playing, eventually. We won't do it till, of course, next weekend, when we have time again. Whether everybody will be available, we don't know. So, it's kind of day to day. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the dicking around that we had in the map where I lit 3 people on fire. And
you sound so proud of yourself for that.
Well, see,
It's like we circle jerked in the middle of a blazing fire. It was just satisfying but painful at the same time.
Well, it's not only that. I'm pretty sure Kyo's kind of happy that he squished me into that one room. Although I'm happy that he was there with me. Because if he didn't...
I was happy when I escaped that squishy room.
There's so many moments of this map that made me laugh. So this does have a little nostalgic that might help its recommendation from me, but for now, it's staying open. So anyway, see you all later, and hope you enjoy. Peace.
See ya!